It's taking a minute. Okay, now it says we're live. It's not, okay, there you go. I was going to say the light is terrible too. So, hello, Mimsy. Thank you, as always, for being our moderator.
Forgot
well, I thought you were going to finish the sentence for me.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get on to make
gardening
sure.
from scratch.
Hey, gardening from scratch.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah, might as well have fun with the thumbnail.
Yes, for real. So, does everybody know who Elsa is? Like, not our Elsa, but like Anna and Elsa. That was like probably one of Disney's biggest ever. Hey, Grandma's so happy. Does everybody know who Elsa is? Like Anna and Elsa? Frozen. Of course they do. Disney's Frozen.
Of course they do.
Disney's, like, some people don't watch Disney, but we do
we
let
really
our
don't, but
we don't a lot. We do let our kids watch Disney movies though. Hey, Pine Knot.
Hey, Piper. So, hey, Josh. So, again, the Misty's picture says it all. We're actually on second calf watch for the year. We said, remember, if you remember any of our videos from last year, we said 2020 was going to be one of those years that's just kind of and just be crazy. So we have gotten to that point of craziness, and one of the good things that is happening, of course, is Elsa is fixing to have her second baby. So we are been stanching training her and getting her ready, and she is just a sweetheart like always. So she's coming back around, and we're enjoying it.
Yes. So I was reading the comments. So you have to know who Anna and Elsa are from Frozen to get the thumbnail. With the blonde hair and the wig, that's actually my daughter's wig that my mom
Don't let her lie.
got.
She really, it's hers.
I don't think so. Because my girls love to dress up. Like, that's one of their favorite things to do. So they have all the gowns, they have all the shoes, they have all the wigs. Actually, they have a blonde wig and a brown wig.
You have to remember, we have 5 kids, and the 3 girls in the middle are like stair steps. So
yes, so
it goes crazy.
They love to dress up. So I had the blonde Elsa wig. No, yeah, Elsa. The blonde Elsa wig, but you have to know who Anna and Elsa are from Frozen to kind of get it. So anyway, but our cow Elsa is who we're referring to.
Yeah, she's very close. Actually, I thought she was going to have it today. I really did. She still could. It's still nighttime. We just moved her over to the stanchion side with Allie this morning, or this evening, and she, man, I just can't believe she's still holding on to this calf.
No,
I know
her bag is like about to explode.
And again, this cow typically doesn't bag up at all.
Allie was very, very unusual. We even had a vet come to our house and say, she's huge, she's just gonna have this baby. And it was like, what, 2 months later, a month and a half, 2 months later, it was at least 2 months. It was 2 months later. And she just was very unusual. She bagged up at about 6 months.
Oh yeah, she bagged up quick.
And most don't do that, but Elsa, she's due in February. So we knew that it was getting close, but she, like, within a week, she just blew up. So super excited about
Elsa's our sweetheart too. Allie's,
she is so sweet.
A little bit more bullheaded of a cow, but Elsa is definitely our sweetheart. We brought her in the stanchion. It's like we never even stopped milking her. She's been great. So
yeah. And going to that,
hey, Prairie Girl and Cowboy Homestead.
So stanchion training for us has been a big deal. Y'all know that when we got Elsa, we bought her from a milk barn. We brought her here. The next morning she had to go in there. Like, she didn't have an option. It was not.
Go back and watch that front video.
It was not
It took us
good.
4 hours.
It was not good, but we worked with her and she got it. So with Allie, we knew that getting her in there and getting used to getting in the stanchion, getting a routine, getting felt on was so important. Now, it was kind of tough the first few days. The calf threw a whole nother
element
thing in
to it.
there.
We were not used to that.
But had we not had her used to and comfortable going in that stanchion, it would have been a nightmare.
True.
So stanchion training is so important, especially if you're interested in milking or anything like that. So since Elsa is so close now, I mean, like so close, she's also lost mucus.
I thought it's today. I'm gonna be honest with
She's
you. I
lost
thought it's
mucus.
today.
She's had, she's really, really swollen. Colby told me this morning, he was like, man, she is just getting wider and opening up more and more. So we're waiting. And, but we've been training her. We've been taking after Allie gets done milking. He's been taking Elsa in right behind her, and she has done amazing. I mean, she's used to it. She did it for several months, but it is still so important. Just to get them in a routine, it makes your life a lot easier. So, with all that being said, we are on baby watch again, so we're so excited about that. There's nothing like a Jersey baby.
They're beautiful.
There's
they really
nothing
are.
like a Jersey baby.
I just want to hold them. Just want to hold them.
I know. I was telling.
Well, I wanted to beat our first one, but I love her, but then she'll get on my nerves. But
Josie, she's a mess.
She is a mess. She's like her mama.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Elsa is just like calm, cool, and collected, like her mama.
Yeah.
Or her daddy, because both of them are just.
Yeah, Daddy-O is very easy too. But I will say, we were driving up the driveway the other day, and I stopped, and I was just talking to
Diane
him.
and Richard.
I was just talking
Brandon, Mississippi.
through the window, and I was like, Josie's so soft and fluffy. I wish she would just let us come out there and pet her, but she's very standoffish, which Allie was the same way until she had her baby.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be one of those things that Allie is natured, headstrong, and so is her baby. And I'm hoping Elsa's baby is not. I really don't know what I hope Elsa has. Because if it's a heifer, I doubt we keep her. If it's a bull calf,
I'm not going to let him do anything with him.
Bull. Hey, y'all got to help us come up with some K names. We're on the letter K for cow. Wait, is that right? We're on the letter K for the name for our cow. So if y'all think about it, we got to have a boy name and a girl name just in case. We thought about a lot of names, but it was more jokes. So we need to find a real K name.
Don't say those names.
Yeah, we're not going to say those names because some of y'all might be named those people, so we don't want to do that. But we got to think of some K names. So y'all help us find out what kind of names we can name this calf.
Katie.
Katie's a good one. But
hey, we have done that many a days.
Why not?
Listen, I've washed dishes and listened to people. We've cooked and watched people.
That's the big word right now. I just want to tell you how crazy our last few days have been. I don't know.
This afternoon topped it all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if y'all have crazy days. I do work a job, and my job is not far, of course, from our house, so it does help. Hey, Dawn, but let me explain to you our last week and see if y'all have these crazy days too. Now, we run a full-fledged homestead too. I mean, we really are very aggressive in our homesteading. As y'all saw the video today from Aloe, yesterday, I'm sorry. Misty's been splitting Aloe like a mug. She has got Aloe running out our ears. So we have Aloe, and again, if y'all know anything about bees spring season starts February. So we're already seeing our bees get very aggressive, very active. So we did some harvesting of honey today, some fall honey. Went through, lost 2 or 3 hives, which is common for beekeepers.
I thought you said it was 2. Was it 2 or 3?
I think it was 3. Well, it was 2, but the other one was one of those small ones, so it was like a nuke. But it's very common to lose bees. We only lost 2 to 3 hives this year, so I'm pleased with that. I'm not upset about that. We can split and make more. We were worried about our biggest hive,
but it was good.
Yep, and it's rolling strong.
How many boxes up are we on that?
6.
Like, yeah,
well, it's 5 now.
6 or 7. Okay.
But man, it's booming. But so here's our week last week. So we have this massive storm, and a lot of y'all are from Mississippi. Y'all know how crazy the storms got. We had a little damage, just a few little trees down, our little shade cloth ripped up.
It was nothing major.
Nothing major. So we're blessed. But we had chickens that were supposed to be butchered last weekend. Couldn't butcher them last weekend because of all the crazy weather. Secondly, I said, okay, well then we'll try this weekend, which was just a few days ago. Well, it stormed, and of course we have a video coming out on the storms to Friday, but it was so bad. So we're thinking, okay, we're going to butcher these chickens either by myself because Misty had somewhere to go for our engagement this next week, or we're about to just butcher in the rain. Well, we try not to do anything on Sundays other than just our normal chores. But after church, we just said, hey, it's time to have at it. So we got through our milking, butchered 22 chickens, worked out great, was excellent on getting that done. Actually worked a lot quicker than we thought. So
we had a helping hand. A friend of ours from church come out and helped us. We have put it on social media, and she was the only one that responded.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, she has no chickens. She has no animals on her home.
She's a trooper, I'm telling you.
She did awesome.
Now,
she come out and she just did awesome.
Now, on top of all that, we're milking. We're on calf watch. If you look, I know you can't see, but out this door, we have a pile of our chicken butchering stuff still sitting in our yard that we just hadn't got to because it keeps flooding. So we can't truly wash it and clean it and let the sun hit it to dry it out. So we've got like everything that we butcher with, like boom, right there.
All of the plucker, the gas cans,
everything.
What they're not called gas
cans,
propane, the
tables, knives. If somebody wanted to rob us, yeah, we got blood. It looks like we just murdered somebody.
Coolers. What else is out there?
Tables, buckets, gut bucket, everything.
Yeah, the gut. I mean,
so it's sitting out our front door. Now, is that not legit homesteading? I don't know what is. Like if somebody walked up on our porch and didn't know who we were and saw these big blood buckets, they might turn around. They may not come in our house. They would be completely scared. So not only that, we've got kombucha sitting over there that we have to pour up. We have kombucha that's sitting over there that we have to pour up. Misty cut up homemade bread. Next to that is yogurt that we're making. And then on top of that, we've got honey in the garage that we've not even harvested yet.
From the hives
that we took off of that left. So it has been absolutely crazy. But
no, you're missing.
Topping it all off. We have
tell them about the chickens first. Tell them about the chickens first.
Which chickens?
Okay, so we killed off the meat birds. So the chickens are half of our flock, and the pigs were out in the garden, right? So I decided because the pigs had tilled everything up, so there's no grass. I mean, it's just.
They needed a boat too. They needed a boat. I thought I was going to put a boat out there for my chickens.
So it's been raining, so I wanted to move them. So one day, and I've got some video footage of this, so y'all see it all fleshed out. So I decided I wanted to move them to get them out of the mud because they were in with the pigs. Pigs have made a mess. So me and Aiden went out there in the pouring rain, caught the chickens. And I moved the netting, the meat bird netting where the meat birds were.
The black netting.
I moved, so y'all seen some video footage of the meat birds. So I moved that netting over some where our fruit orchard is. And we went and caught the birds and we threw them in there. Well, because it's not extremely long, they will jump up on the top of the coop that's in there and they keep flying out. So we've been chasing chickens through the yard, trying to get them back in. And then this afternoon.
Well, let me go back and say, for the last week or so, our hogs, Aiden left the net off one day in the permaculture area in the garden. Well, if you know any animal, if they know that net may not be hot, they're going to test it. And I think our pigs go in a pecking order like anything else. We have ABC bacon 1, 2, 3. They're the smart ones. Then we have bacon 4, who he's trying to be as cool as bacon 1, 2, 3, and then bacon 5, he's just left out there. So here's what they do. They've learned that if they can get that fence,
they test it, y'all. They test it.
These pigs are too smart. I cannot wait to kill them and eat them. I'm just telling you. They are smart. So what they found out, they're like, okay, pig number 5, bacon 5. He's the littlest one.
He's the fence tester.
He is the one. They're like, okay, you do it. Because it's kind of like if you ever watched the Christmas Story, the kid that stuck his tongue on the pole, this is that one. So they make him do all the work.
We've watched it.
Pig number 4, bacon 4, he pushes hay. He's a little bit cooler than bacon 5. So he'll push the hay and hit the shocker knot or hit the wire fence. And he says, okay, I'm gonna ground this fence out for bacon 1, 2, and 3 to get out. Bacon 4 pushes it, and he's risking himself from getting shot. But he said, I'm doing it for the good because I want to be like one of them. So he pushes it up against the fence. Bacon number 5, his job is
to test it.
I'm the tester. So he's the one that's got to go test the fence to make sure the fence is not hot. So here he goes. He goes up there. He can now. Granted, bacon number 5 has never made it out. Bacon number 5 is the smallest, and he's the one that always has to get locked up, and he never gets out of this fence. But he's the one who's got to be the tester, I guess, because he's trying to be cool like the rest of them. So he goes and he touches the fence to make sure it's off. Once bacon number 5 says the fence is off, bacon number 4 realizes, hey, we're cool enough. We're all going. Bacon 1, 2, 3 escapes. And they're out. They're gone. And they run away. Now, they don't run far off at our farm. They stay on our farm. That's a good thing because pretty much they kind of know where the feed's at and where everything's at. But bacon number 4, he can sometime escape. But bacon number 5, he's left. So anyways, like Misty was saying, for the last week, they've been playing this game. I mean, they have literally been coming out.
So we have
every day.
Can we turn it into children's pool?
I'm thinking about turning this into some kind of heart attack thing. It's going to give me heartburn.
It has been Aiden's job. It has been rounding them back up. Well, today he can usually round them back up because he takes the feed buckets out and they haven't been fed, so he gets them back in. Well, today he got them back in. They got fed. They got out again.
And so they got
them. They got out again. He got them back in. Fed them again. They got out again at 5:30. I just come inside to get ready for church.
I thought about shooting them. Just
put supper on, and Colby calls, and he says 4 of the pigs are out, and they're running around everywhere. Go get me some food.
I'm still trying to finish up bees at this point. So if you're a beekeeper or know anything about bees, you shouldn't be going in on January for one thing. But it was 75 a day.
So
second, not at night for sure. They will light your tail up. So I'm trying to finish this up. So I'm calling Misty and saying, okay, we got pigs out, and I'm trying to close the bees up. Trying to get ready for church. It's just been one of those days. So Misty's running out.
I got the food bucket.
Yep.
But they ain't coming.
They already ate too much.
They had already ate probably pound per day, and they had 2 buckets. So they had doubled their feed already. Yeah, they had doubled their ration already. So by the time I get out there, they're running around in the front yard. And then I try to walk them to the back, and they shoot off in the cow pasture. And I'm like, what are they doing? Colby, they're not coming to food. So long story short, we ended up getting them to where they were.
With the big
pigs. Peppa and George, the American guinea hogs. So then Colby got 2 T-posts, and I would just stand there and just throw them food and keep them right at that entranceway. So then Colby got 2 T-posts and put in, and then we got some cattle gate and kind of wrapped it around and kind of pinned them in where they were. And then we took off the boards that Pepper and George are in and made them jump over into there, and then we put that board back. So that's how we ended up rounding them out. And when you talk about running, so then I had to come back inside, change clothes again, turn all the supper off, and we had to leave Colby. And anyway, went to church. So it was just a
fun day.
Mess.
Fun day.
It was a mess.
Crazy.
Anyway, like we said, usually they will come to food, but because they had already had 2 help, literally they had already been fed double. They were not interested.
I can taste that pork chop right now.
And they're getting so big.
You can't pick them up. You can't catch them. You used to be able to kind of catch them, but you can't. There's no way you're going to catch them now.
So we have to depend on them to come to food. But the good thing is where they're at now, they cannot get out.
Right. We're not going to say that.
It's like pigs are escape. Yes, they're.
Well, see, they learned. But see, the thing about the pig is we hadn't had a lot of sun. It's been raining, so our fence charger. Anybody knows a solar panel is only going to charge.
Solar.
It's going to energize with the sun. Well, we have 2 we've been switching out so we can stay
somewhat
Mama
charged. Z's pork chops.
But for some reason, she's
Well, and they figured out how to use the hay.
Yeah.
And that burns it down even more because anytime something's up against the fence, it's sucking the energy, and then we've It's been raining and cloudy, and that's one of the reasons why we decided to go ahead and slaughter off the meat birds, because we said, well, if we don't do it today, today's the only day we're going to get a break in rain from here on out, because it's been cloudy, rain, and nasty weather every day.
Yep.
So they already don't have a lot of charge. Plus, they're using the hay and the mud, and they're literally building walls up against it, which is also draining the charge.
They're smart.
They're very smart.
They are smart. Pig, especially bacon 1, 2, and 3. They know how to do it.
They're the same ones. It's the same ones. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Throw him a wrench, please.
Throw him a wrench.
Throw him a wrench. So I commented on his pig video the other day, because he was also having problems with the pigs getting out. So you just missed our whole story.
And I'm telling you, we didn't get none of this.
Crazy.
None of this.
No, none of this was on camera. Because they were running everywhere.
And don't get me wrong, they were not running away. It was not. They were not running away from our house. They know this is their home. I mean, if we left them out right now, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But of course, they need to be protected. We have boar in our area, and I have 3 of the 5 bacons. 2 of them are little girls, so I don't need those bred by boars. I mean, that's their purpose.
And going back to like what we said, the problem is they don't want us all up in their personal space, so they naturally run from us. But the bad thing,
you're right, little feet.
But the bad thing is they had already been fed twice. Once is a normal routine. The second time because they got out. So the third time when they got out, Daniel, this was all in today. Man, you missed the story. So the third time they got out, they didn't want the food. So they weren't worried about coming to the food. They just wanted to roam. So naturally, when we come at them, they took off running. And then they wouldn't come to us like they normally would, because they didn't want the food.
And here's the crazy thing. And again,
so that just made it more challenging.
I don't know if any of y'all are beekeepers. Well, our bees sit between where our permanent hog fence is and our temporary permaculture pig area. Okay. JJ's going crazy. So here we go. We have 2 sets of pigs where our bees are in between them. Well, because I accessed the bees today, they're not happy when you access them, and then they kind of stay a little crazy. So here, they love to kill me. I mean, they love to sting me. And they don't sting any of my family, but they'll sting me, which is okay. But the pigs just want to roam right around there. Well, at this point, I'm out of my suit, and we're trying to run these pigs, and our pigs just want to hang out between both pig fences with the bees. So it's like, nah, I'm not going over there. We'll just kind of run them out. So finally, we moved them out, got them to where they were supposed to be. They kept hearing George and Peppa, so they ran straight back to George and Peppa. So it worked out great. Just took a long time, but we got them back in permanent fencing for right now until we get some sun. Once we get the sun, we'll move them to the forest. But until then, they're not going to forest because our energizers just can't hold up.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want to chase the pigs anymore. They're fine where they're at, and they can't get out.
We could go deep bedding. Yep, we could do it.
So,
to be honest with you,
it's only for a few more months.
Yeah, we should just move. We should move Peppa and George, because they could care less.
They could care less.
They don't want to
go
go nowhere.
So easy, laid back, go with the flow. Yeah, I am not chasing those crazy pigs anymore. They are staying where they're at. But I was very thankful that once we got them, and see, as soon as they come here, we put them straight there. So they almost immediately, once we finally got them out of the front of the yard and in the cow pastures, that's exactly where they went. So I was very thankful. Hey, did you say hey?
Hey, Simply Jan. Yeah, I did. I said, hey, Smith family.
They're milking. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. So they went straight there. So then once we kind of got them rounded up with the cattle fence, I was so thankful that they just went right over on in there. And I was thinking,
well, the bad thing is
now you are staying.
But see, George, those 2 little sows are getting a little older, so I got to watch them because I really don't need him breeding them. Then getting aggressive with the little boars because they're starting to grow a little older, And so
we're there. We have that side sectioned off, so we're gonna have to move them over just so that he doesn't.
Well, I did actually move them over.
Oh, did you?
Got them done.
Got it done. Good. Because I was afraid. I told Colby, I said, if they do end up pregnant, the last thing you want to do is kill them all.
I don't need breeders. I mean, we don't really.
The last thing we want to do is trying to kill them off when she's pregnant and all that. So I don't want to.
Our Kevin Woods, I'm sorry. It's been one of those days. See, you know, because I milk at 4. Look, she's trying to yawn again.
I know, it's contagious.
Yeah, I milk at 4:15. I get up at 4 and get everything together and milk at 4:15. Well, because we're separating at night with the calf, and of course on Elsa with her calf watch, we've been checking on her late. We literally don't stop chores till literally we go to bed. So it's just been exhausting the last few days.
Yeah, and Smith family, I will tell you, we learned to do that. Probably how many months?
3 to 4 weeks. You need 3 to 4 weeks. You got to watch her. If she's pulling most of your milk, you need to pull. Or I'm not sure if it's a heifer or a bull calf, but you need to pull her off. Or
yeah. So what we started doing is with Josie.
Hey, Church's Family Farm.
We noticed a decrease in our supply. So what we started doing several weeks ago is we would just get Josie.
That's good, little
just
piggy.
at night and pull Allie to the field closest to us, so Josie couldn't drink all the milk all night long, and that way we could get there in the morning, get what our 2 gallons, and then put them back together all day. But Colby just goes out every evening before we go to bed, usually about between 7 and 9, and just pulls Allie off. So that just saying that's not something you have to do, but we depend on that milk because we have a large family. We depend on that milk. So Josie was going out and drinking all the milk constantly because she was just with her around the clock.
It was a fight for the milk.
So it was. So if we didn't get there before she got up and ate, I mean, we would have like a gallon or less. So we decided to go ahead and start separating them just at night. I mean, from what average 8 o'clock until 4:30 or 5 in the morning, just that little bit of time, and then they're together all the rest of the time.
But again, we put a cow. We put the bull with her, and then put Elsa with the other, so they feel that companionship, and they're right next to each other, so they're right.
She said she's milking less, but they aren't drinking it fast enough.
Oh my gosh!
We are a family of 7, so
we drink. Not only do we drink, I mean, like I said, the yogurt and butter and everything else. We go through easily.
They've been separating them since 10 days old. So yeah,
we easily go through. Man, 2 or 3 gallons.
We drink a gallon daily, and
then
I make so much stuff from it. So
like when we get this new milk cow,
depend on that really.
I mean, for the longest I was thinking, what are we going to do with 2 milk cows? I mean, how are we going to use it that much? But I'll be honest, we are. We actually, Misty pulled off for butter just this morning on the other one, and I tell you what, it's been crazy because Allie's milking probably 2 gallons on average.
Yeah.
She's milking 2 gallons on average.
She's an awesome milk cow. Sometimes she gives us more than 2 gallons.
Yeah, I mean, she gave us 2 mornings ago. We got about 2.5, close to 3. It was almost filled it up.
But we knew that she was because like we mentioned earlier, y'all, at 6 months, her bag was like most cows do. So that's why we kept thinking like, we didn't think she was due this early, but she's bagging up. She's got to be getting close.
She's a boss.
But she just, her bag is the biggest I've ever seen. We've had cattlemen come. Y'all, our cattle vet come and said,
whoa,
she's got to be due like soon. And I told Colby, I was like, that's what he said, but she's not due for like several more weeks. And he was like, no, she's going to be due soon. She's huge. But she was not. Her bag is just that big. A few comments.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Baby does okay. Yes, Prairie Girl and Cowboy Homestead, they do great.
Yeah, they do great.
She's actually eating a little bit of feed. She eats some hay.
It makes her be independent.
Getting more than milk anyway.
Yeah, and see, what it also does is it makes her become a cow. I mean, she before she would just follow her mama everywhere she went, and then if her mama started eating, she would just nurse. So now it's gotten to where she goes and she'll hang out with Elsa, she'll hang out with the bull, and just kind of play around. So it actually has benefited the little heifer, Josie, excuse me.
Yeah, and she really likes, and she really we dumped some hay the other day, and she was over there just munching down on it. So she likes that.
Yeah, and she's getting better with the alfalfa. We give her alfalfa feed every once in a while. The more we do that, the more she's coming to me, especially because she sees me every morning.
Yeah, I don't go out in the pasture a lot.
Our cabin in the woods, we did grow up our meat birds. We actually processed them Sunday. which is not what we wanted. We were trying to do it Friday or Saturday, but it was like a tornado.
We had some major storms roll through, and then so we were going to push it off until next week. But the storms are not. The storms are not going to slack up. Like it flooded all day Monday.
Today was the first pretty
all
day.
Afternoon yesterday. Well, it rained on and off this morning, and then the sun popped out for a little while, but then it's supposed to start storming again tomorrow. So we kind of felt like they were already 10 weeks old.
But yeah, they were
already.
They were about 71 days actually.
Yeah. So we were like, we really have to do this. And then the next weekend, Colby worked, so it just was not working out for us. So we had to do it. And Stivers, we did 22. Mm-hmm. We ordered 25.
We lost 3.
We lost 3.
10%.
So we did 22. And I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't as bad as I thought. But I didn't do the killing. I did not agree to that, and I did not want to do it, and I would not even watch one just because I'm natured to be a nurturer, and I did not want to pull all of that inside out. So my friend from church, her name is Cherish, and y'all, she is the bomb. She come and we would get them out of the cones.
You're right, little feet.
She would put them in the cooker, and I would get them out. Scalder, what I call it, the cooker.
We ain't cooking them.
The scalder, and then I would do the plucker. I would handle the plucking stuff, and even when it come out of the plucker, I would make sure all the feathers and stuff were off. And then I would pass it to Colby, and then Colby would do what he needed to do. And then Cherish's son, Gage, and Aiden was in charge of catching the chickens. So when me and Cherish would get them out of the cones, they would have to go catch 2 more and have them ready for Colby. So we had like rotating stations.
We did
so
very
that really
good
did help.
For 3 people. I think you need 4 people. I think that, one person can do it. And 2 people do it, 3 people.
Well, and maybe even if it was 2 men, but like Colby was having to kill.
I had my cones right behind where the tent was where I was processing, doing the evisceration. So I basically would go from station to station, just turning my back at the first of the 4 stations. I'd turn my back, go there, and come back to the 4th station. So it worked out okay. If I had one more person who was willing to either kill or eviscerate,
Daniel, I just think women are just. I'm not saying that all women can, but I just think that most women are natured that way. They're just not natured to just kill.
You're right, Daniel.
Like take life. I just think that God gave men the nature to be able to provide. So we did the same thing, but I think if he would have had another man either killing or helping him in the process of cleaning them up, cleaning them out, I think it would have went faster. But then he had 2 women doing the plucker and the scalder, and he was kind of juggle the rest. So
hey, you know what though? I was real pleased. We processed those 22. We processed those 22 birds.
Jen did the gutting. Wow, you're the bomb. I was like,
we did.
I don't want to do that.
We did 22 birds in about right at 2 hours and 45 minutes in actual, killing through processing through getting them ready for the freezer. Now, of course, anybody that butchers chickens, it takes you an hour and a half, 2 hours just to clean it all up. So, I thought we did very good, and even the ladies would start talking a little bit, so they would get distracted, but that's okay.
We were having to wait on you because, that I would say that that's the most lengthy part is just cleaning it all out good. That's just the most lengthy part. So to where we could kind of go fast. Sometimes we get to a stopping point of just making sure. Darlene. And we also found out that water temperature is like where it's at because the plucker don't work if the temperature to the water is not right. So we had to really watch that 145 to 150. Like that's where the temperature's at because it has to be hot enough to loosen up the feathers. If it's not hot enough, the feathers won't come off. If it's too hot, it breaks the skin. So we had to 145 to 150, which we had heard most of that on a lot of the videos, but that's if your temperature water is not right, then your plucker doesn't do its job right either.
The scalder, yeah, we used a crawfish pot. I know people have true scalders. We did use a crawfish pot and did well, pretty much. Of course, you're going in and out with birds, and we used a cold bath too. So it was just, it balanced out. We really didn't have to ever just keep it lit too much. I do think that two things I've learned from this one. The place we bought our chicks from, I wasn't too pleased. I thought they were a little too slow a grow for it to be a Cornish cross.
Mm-hmm.
So we will go with a different hatchery, which
We're
I
gonna
wanted
go
to
with
in
the
the first place. Yeah.
well-known names out there that
yeah.
most people get their birds from. So we will definitely do that.
Yeah,
next
Stivers.
time.
Ours was kind of like a turkey fryer too. It was what we call a crawfish bath here, but same thing. We use that process. The only other thing too was I don't care what anybody says. The plucker is worth every penny you pay for it.
It really was.
The kill combs. I know you can tie them to rope. Hey, that's okay. You can eviscerate however you want to. You can scald with a bath or a heater of some sort. But to be honest with you, to me, if the plucker is worth every penny.
Yeah, and I will say this: we had debated renting one versus buying one. But what the prices that we found was to rent it for this one batch.
Zach, I watched y'all with that little plucker. I had to pray for y'all.
The one batch, the one batch was going to cost us half of what we could have bought our own for. So we knew that this was going to be
definitely Daniel,
an ongoing thing. So we felt like that why rent one? If we rent one and we're paying almost half of what we can buy one for, then why would we do that? Why wouldn't we just go ahead and get our own? And it's going to pay for itself over the long run anyway. So we went ahead and just purchased one because we need it for the homestead anyway. It was not an expense that we really wanted to take on, but like I said, renting one, what we were going to be paying out, we had an initial fee given to us and then X amount of dollars per day after that. Was it per day or per hour?
What? Per day.
Per day. So for us, we knew we were going to have it a whole day anyway. And we just felt like that's half of what we could buy one for our own. So it just did not make sense for us because we knew we were going to continue to use it. And I also wanted to address a comment I saw earlier. I don't remember. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So the girl that come out with us, I forgot to tell you this. I saw her tonight at church. I mentioned y'all she's a church friend. She has no chickens. She has no homestead type animals whatsoever. But she saw my cry out for help on Facebook and she messaged me. She was like, hey, did you ever find anybody to help you? And I was like, no. And she was like, I'll come help you. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, yeah. So anyway, she come out and helped. I saw her at church tonight. She was like, I cooked one of my chickens tonight. So we gave her 2 birds and then I gave her like some honey and some eggs and some soap, some stuff like that from the homestead just for coming to help us because y'all, she spent, all afternoon with us and didn't mind doing anything. She was like, look, I don't want to kill it.
Yes,
but I'll do anything once. And I was like, girl, you are crazy. So anyway, she saw me tonight at church and she stopped me. She was like, I cooked that chicken tonight and it was the best, juiciest chicken I have ever had. Yeah, good. She said it was so good. She said, I'm telling you, you cannot buy a store-bought bird like that. I had not cooked any yet because we had some store-bought left. So I told Colby I was going to use everything store-bought first and then we would start cooking ours. So yeah, she said that she put an onion and a lemon in it in the cavity and put salt and pepper on it and put it in her Instapot for, did she tell me 15 or 45 minutes? How many ever minutes? And she said that it was so tender, so juicy. She said, and she's a family of 4. She fed her whole family and they still have leftovers. Mm-hmm. She said, I'm telling you, it was so good. You cannot buy that. You cannot buy that. So I was like, Yay, that makes me excited.
You
So
know,
that's so awesome.
I think it's like anything else, and we've talked about this, and y'all are the same way. If we could ever get to the point where more people believe that we need better food, more people believe we need better sustainability, and we could do this as a group, like me and Missy talked about, our goal is to do 100 chickens, basically next year, basically 2 a week, roughly. But if you can, and I'll raise them for whomever is going to, because we have the land to raise them. But if we could find, 1 or 2 or 3 families who believe in what we do, not because they want to kill chickens or not because they believe that they got to milk a cow at 4:15, but just says, hey, I just want a better diet. I want to be better.
Well, and they're interested.
It would be great.
Look,
It'd make it so much easier.
That night they left, and she's got a 3-year-old little girl and a 13-year-old little boy, and she left, and she messaged me later. She was like, my kids have to have pigs now. And she was like, so we've been looking. We have a D&D trade day here that's like an animal kind of Facebook
Hey, Kevin
thing.
And Bonnie.
So anyway, she said, we have been on that looking for pigs all afternoon. Like they got home that night. So I was laughing at her this afternoon. I said, have y'all loaded up your pigs yet? And she said, well, my husband don't want to put them in the back of his truck, but my kids are not letting it go. So they're going to end up with pigs eventually. But how awesome is that people come and love it so much that they say, we want this. We want to do that. That is so awesome. I gotta go get the baby.
Tell them don't try to put them to sleep. Let them watch TV. Stivers, we left them whole. We are going to process a few of them and cut them off and split them and quarter them. But for the time being, I just said, hey, we'll leave them whole, put them in the shrink wrap, make it easy because we were running out of daylight when we were actually getting ready to finish up for the night. Having the homestead, I saw that y'all were doing a bee video. We actually harvested some honey today. Hey, Bandana Grandma, what's up?
It was not because we wanted to. We did lose 2. We kind of finally got to go in and do an inspection, but 2 were, the rest of them were fine though.
Yeah.
Our biggest one, which was our main concern.
Yeah, our biggest one's doing great.
Several boxes up, and we've been watching it, and we just said there's not a whole lot of activity, but when Colby went in it today, it was great. So
definitely, Stivers. I think that's the best way. Then try to break them down while you're eviscerating on. I mean, for us, you're trying to keep everything clean and sanitary. So we finally get everything clean just to get it ready to bag. The last thing we want to do is just add another step of going in and breaking them down.
How many did y'all do?
They did around 15, I think. So one good thing is, out of all the chickens, not one of them was bruised. We took one wing off one just because it just didn't.
The plucker also dislocated one of the legs.
Yeah.
One of the legs or 2?
One. But other than that,
we did 15.
Again,
that's good.
The plucker, we used the Kitchener plucker.
Yeah, Daniel asked if that was the name, and I was like, I don't know. My birthday is Friday, and he has banned me from getting on Amazon. So I saw your comment, and I was like, I hope he's talking about the plucker. And then I didn't get a chance to go look it up because Colby's banned me from Amazon. So yes, that's what it was.
The Kitchener. It was, man, well worth its money.
Well worth its money.
Yeah, we're gonna plan on cutting them up. Probably cut them half in 2. My father used to be a butcher himself, so instead of breaking them down in quarters, we're probably gonna just half them, and that way it makes it a little bit easier as we try to use whatever we're gonna use.
Daniel said we have that one in our garage still in the box. Well, don't do another batch until you put it together because it was worth 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and the birds had no feathers. The only 2 things that I saw was Daniel, when we were talking about the temperature. So if the temperature of the water is less than 45, it won't loosen up the feathers enough. So we would have to take the bird out, check the temperature of the water, get it back up, put it back down in there for a few more seconds, and then drop it back down in the plucker. So if it was too hot, which it did get too hot one time, and we quickly realized that, dropped it down in the plucker, it spun around, and the skin broke. So when the skin broke and it was in the plucker, it allowed one of those legs to come out of joint. So, but that was because the skin broke, and it was, of course, it's being thrown around in there like crazy. So that was the only thing that your birds are affected by the temperature when
I
they
agree,
go into
Daniel.
the plucker. So it's well worth its money, though.
All right, Kevin in the Woods, what kind of pigs are y'all raising or wanting to get next year? We
Good
raised two kinds, so.
scalds are the key, and we didn't like realize that, but once we got probably
2.5 acres.
5 birds into it, we realized like temperature is so important.
Yeah, I wish more people would realize it. Like Misty said, we have 2. Hey, Clarissa.
And I addressed
Look,
that. Hey,
on.
Clarissa, yay!
See, the thing
we
is,
addressed that in the video because I had not heard anybody say
what?
Talking about the temperatures. Like they would say your water needs to be at this and blah blah blah. But I had
That
not
is
heard
key.
anybody
Definitely.
say like if your temperature is too low, this is what's going to happen. If your temperature is too high, this is what's going to happen. But we noticed that like right off the bat. So.
And yeah, that's one thing. If you're not buying a scalder and you're using your turkey fry and things like that, keeping that balanced temperature is hard. The scalders that like you're right, having the homestead, when you have the scalders that you could set the temperatures,
that would have been amazing. But for
thank
for
you,
us,
pretty girl in Cowboy.
For us, you know,
we did the chickens 45 seconds usually.
Yeah.
If our temperature's on, we do a 45-second dip when we're scalding. That's what we did. And it worked out pretty good. It
worked out great. In 30 seconds, like hey, Wild Coffee, did I miss them?
What? Where you been, girl? Golly.
I saw something retracted earlier, but I was talking. We are glad to have y'all.
Darlene Thompson, it's snowing. It's like 85 out here in Mississippi.
I was in the greenhouse today and had to leave the door open because I was sweating.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
I had
January.
Y'all saw me dividing my aloe. So I went out and checked on that, but it also had some sage, some rosemary, and things like that needed to be repotted because they had outgrown their pots. And because January is kind of like a non-growing season, it's good to transplant stuff, and so when things are not actively growing. So I went out to transplant some stuff in bigger pots and stuff like that. 0 degrees. Oh my. I would not make it there.
Yeah, Mama Bear, it was a good 80 today. I actually got to go into the bees. The bees were all, but they were actually bringing pollen in today.
I like warm weather, so I can't complain.
Well, when Christmas
78 and all.
When Christmas passed, I like singing silver bells and chestnut roasting over the open fire. Once December passes,
We're ready for it to be hot again.
Yeah, it's garden season, so I'm ready to get out there and go after
it. We do 4-H pigs for the fair.
Okay,
yeah. Well, Church's family, I don't know if you heard our story about chasing pigs today, but I'm glad that they are back where they were because we moved them into some electrical fence in our garden and just let them till and fertilize and stuff like that. And them little suckers, y'all have to go back and listen to Colby's storybook story on bacon number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
The Hive and the Homestead, yeah, ours is bringing in a light color too, which is nice. We have a lot of clover blooming right now, so I'm hoping I'm hoping it's going to be a good spring flow this year. We had 20 gallons last year, and I'm hoping to get 25 to 30 gallons this year.
4 months. Wow.
Holy moly, 300 pounders.
Really fast. Ours get about a pound per pig a day.
Well, Coffee asked you a question.
It turned out amazing.
We go through a gallon of kombucha probably every 3 days.
Yeah, I make it a week or 2 times. I was trying to say once or twice per week. So yeah, I just I'm kind of funny. So once we drink out of the bottles, I don't just wash them with soap and water. I sterilize them. So I just sterilized my jars today and made a batch of tea, and I've got to pour that off when we get off the live. I have it all ready, but I ran out of time because we had to go out and chase the pigs before church, and I changed twice. So I've got to do that tonight, but it's really good. And look, I'm going to tell you, about 3 or 4 days is our magic number. So we did grape. It was so good. Now, grape is probably my favorite.
Now, we don't like grape flavored anything, but we used organic grape juice. I mean, straight up,
just straight, pressed. No sugar.
It was phenomenal.
It really was good. But I will say this. I tested it today, and personally, I could drink it with no flavor. Like that, at day 3 or 4, that's where I really, really like it. So I personally could drink it without any flavor whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But I really did like the grape juice.
The grape was
especially
good.
When it sits out and gets carbonated. It's really good. They said mango was their favorite. You know, a lot of people have said mango is their favorite.
We're not big mango fans at all, but
I have not shared my SCOBY with anybody. There's not a lot of people around here. Cherish, my friend Cherish, has kombucha.
Now I will say this: we've had two of the guys I work with.
They
thought I
liked
was crazy.
it.
They've gotten to where they like it, so now it's like, hey, why don't you bring me some? So we had one guy get some, and then the other guy wants some too. So it's a growing thing. And I had to go to a lunch today. And it's great because the way
Thank you, Grammy Karen.
The way we homestead, you know, we're sustainable. I went to this luncheon today, and when I go to these luncheons like this,
I bet strawberry is good.
I literally just eat a salad usually because I don't eat a lot of people's food and things like that. So more people are realizing that what we're doing. And a guy made a mention today. He said, "I saw you butcher chickens." He said that was cool. You know, and that came out of nowhere. It was a lawyer in town. So what I'm saying is, I think the food movement is moving better and better, especially in the smaller community where they see people are actually living like this. You know, so I think it's a good thing. And so the kombucha, the chicken, some of the stuff
Grandma's
that's not
so happy. I bet strawberry
on.
was good. Hold on, I was trying to read. I bet strawberry is good. And it is like a healthy soda for those of you don't know.
Hey, Radar.
You basically
Patrick
are getting a culture or either buying what's called a SCOBY, which is a symbiotic culture of yeast and bacteria. And you put that with tea and you let it ferment, and then you drink it, and it's full of probiotics. It's very gut healthy. That's called your first ferment. I like a second ferment because I like the carbonation. So we do a second fermentation to give that carbonation. Jennings is so upset.
Hey, Reed, what you say?
Mimsy, like everybody loves mango, so we're gonna have to try that. Strawberry, banana is not bad either. Now, does anybody use raw fruit? Because I did I cut some pineapple up and dropped it down in there for my second ferment and left it out on the counter for 2 or 3 days. And then it started turning like brown. And I was like, do you take it out? Do you leave it in there? Do you eat it? What do you do? So I just went ahead and took mine out, and the kids were like, "Ooh, that's disgusting. It's slimy," and blah, 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 blah. So I just took it out, and we've mostly been using juice, but I see a lot of people that use raw fruit. But do you leave it in there? Having the Homestead says Jess uses raw fruit. The pineapple started looking like nasty, turned brown.
Hey, Copper Kettle.
But I don't know. I just threw it out. I left it in there for those few days, and then I threw it out. So Grandma's so happy uses raw fruit all the time too. Do you keep it in there or do you throw it out? Mango naked juice. Yeah, I've heard that those are a lot of people uses that naked brand. Tasha tried real pineapple and it carbonated. Yeah, I remember her mentioning that. Yeah. Oh, I think that was on her. Was that on her live?
I don't know. We talked to her about it for some
yeah,
reason.
I remember that. Mine did not do that. It did carbonate, but it didn't like go crazy. But I did burnt mine after 12 hours. So I don't know if that helped. All right, Daniel said he pours his through the strainer. I do a second ferment with fresh fruit for 1 to 2 days and place in the fridge once it's carbonated. So you just leave the fruit in there.
Don't drink it naked.
I like it. Look, I'm telling you where mine's at right now. And green tea. I've been doing half green tea and half black tea, and I like it a lot. I also used, on your second ferment, you can also use honey. So I usually do 1 bottle with honey for the second ferment, and then whatever kind of juice we're going to leave. Okay, so yes, leave it in there. It just made the pineapple look.
The thing I don't mind texture or the chunkiness of it with the pineapple in there. It didn't bother me. The flavor of just eating a SCOBY, like it gives some of our second ferments make SCOBY. I just don't like the texture.
We need to get Colby doing a live SCOBY shot.
The SCOBY shots
on a live.
I don't know about
You know,
that.
if you feel them or they're down in there, they're just like a big slimy
booger.
They're just not. Look, I have watched people do it though, and I'm just like, I don't know if I could swallow that. I mean, I don't know that I could literally make it go down. But he's ate some kind of nasty stuff. Yeah, it was on her live. We were watching it.
Yeah, okay.
But she and
the fruit is getting eaten. That's right. So it's feeding off the sugars. Absolutely.
But it just, yeah, it does. It looks bad. My kids were like, I don't want that in there. So I ended up just taking it out.
We like the second ferment, but if we're using real fruit, we tend to like to strain it too.
Yeah, we do strain it out of the second one.
My favorite so far has been, I like the pineapple, I like the apple, but we really did like the grape last time.
But you know, so many people say mango. Yeah. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna try mango.
Eat the SCOBY in the bottom. I don't know about that.
But that is so good for you.
Yeah, I mean, for you.
It really is good for you, but I just don't know that I can swallow that. Like, okay, a confession. I'm a nurse by profession, and I've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a big booger.
Okay, going to that. Okay, when I would work the floor, I would have people upchuck on me. I mean, stuff would be coming out every which way. It would get on me sometimes. It would get all over all the stuff sometimes. But the one thing that would make me gag is if I had to collect a sputum sample.
Respiratory.
So if I had to take that little cup in there to somebody and say, you got to spit your stuff up in this, I had to do it like this. Here you go. Put it in the cup, and then I would take my glove off and put it over it without looking, because I was a CNA, Misty. Look, you can, if we're putting tubes up your nose and you're puking and whatever.
Dog.
But I cannot do what people call phlegm. The sputum is the medical name for it. I can't do it. So a SCOBY looks like that. I don't think I would be able to swallow that. So anyway, there's my confession. If you're ever one of my patients and you have pneumonia or anything respiratory, I will not be looking at it because it will make me gag. Smells don't bother me. Somebody mentioned on our chicken butchering picture about butchering. About that, they were like, I had the hardest time getting that smell out of my nose. I was like, that smell was nothing compared to what I've smelled before. But I can't look at that. I was gonna be like, here's your cup, cover it up with my glove, can't do it. I can collect all kinds of samples, but respiratory. So there's something about me. If you didn't know, now you know.
We need to do a video on things about us. That'd be a good one.
Retired respiratory, so you get it. Yeah, that's one thing. I don't know that I would ever want to be all up in somebody's mouth either. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I just flipped on your channel and I feel like I'm at work already. I work in the hospital. Yeah, so
I'm sorry.
So y'all get it. But you know, some people that doesn't bother. Like, I've worked with nurses that'll go in there and just stick that suction right on down in their throat, and I'm just like, like, I just cannot do respiratory. And like, the respiratory people are awesome. I just can't do it.
Our baby's going crazy. Misty's gonna get him. See you later, Mimsy. Yeah, so again, if you saw our front, we're waiting on Elsa, of course. Elsa is she is so close to having her baby, and we're hoping to have the other calf on here. We are actually have we'll have 5 cows have calves this year. Allie will have another baby, but then we'll have 4 more. Can you say hey?
He woke up at 5 this morning, and he took a short nap this afternoon, so he's
ready.
He's not having it right now.
And we're fisting off here anyway. But this is the year of meat for us. We have really pushed 2018 and 2019 to really push for full sustainability on meat. We've always killed deer, but when deer faltered, we were out. We didn't have the meat. So we started the year off strong with the chickens. And of course, we'll do another butchering probably once or twice more this year. Keep on talking.
Yeah, well,
and of course the cows.
Like
Ike is
Colby said, 2018 and 2019 was hard, mainly because we were
so much prep.
We were funding our farm, buying the pigs, getting everything set up, buying our cattle, getting all the fencing set up. It was just hard because we felt like we were paying for our farm and we're paying for the stuff at the grocery store that we still had to have. So I felt like we were forking out like crazy. So that was who wants to do that? But I feel like 2020 is going to be the year that we really get to reap the benefits of all of this. We get our meat birds, we'll kill off our pigs, we'll be able to kill off a cow this year. So
I should say it's the year of the babies too, because we're having five calves this year. Hopefully, we'll have 5 bred cows. Then we turn around and have the pigs, the American guinea hogs are bred. Of course, we're looking for her babies anytime too. And of course the other chickens too, and we'll hatch out and incubate a ton of chickens too. So this year our goal is to not only be sustainable but understand meat sustainability. And like Missy said, we had a lot of buying to do, but now we're to the point where we're really growing. So it's really doing well. We've been very pleased with it. So
yep. How just like you said, never in the same season, but that for us was I'm glad that the year 2020 is going to be the year where I feel like all of our hard work, all of our funding, everything, all of our goals that we have pushed and worked so hard for are finally we're gonna be able to reap those. And it feels awesome because like Colby said, for 2 years we've been working towards this, and feel like we're finally here. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
10 years, but on the meat, really more the last 2 years.
Yeah, the meat. So. Right, that's right.
Well, listen, we are over an hour. Thank y'all so much for joining us on our live. I think you just like to see Misty with blonde hair and the thumbnail. So tomorrow's video is on Elsa, talking a little bit about her, and as we make our way to having this other milk cow.
Yep.
I'll go back to our original milk cow. Also, you'll see Aiden trying to eat a raspberry on the video. It's very fun. So and Misty even danced. So it's all in one. It's all in one video. So we need you to watch it. Grammy Kieran hinted towards the 2,000 subscribers. Our goal is to hit that. We're about 120 away. Please share the max. We would hope that we could grow past that too. So thank y'all so much for watching.
Yes, and thank you to our moderators as always. Y'all check them out. Check their channels out. Mimsy's already gone. Grammy Karen, Daniel, thank y'all so much for being on here. We're not ever really cool enough for trolls, but we do appreciate y'all and y'all support. Thank y'all so much.
God bless y'all and
happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.